Hello and welcome to the How to Talk to Girls podcast. This is your host, Trip Kramer from tripadvice.com. And on today's episode, I dig back into the archives of an old coaching session that I did somewhere around 5 years ago. And this is when I took a student out and helped him build the confidence to go and approach women and say hello to them. And I go over some really deep stuff. I know that people have the question a lot about, are people watching me talk to girls? You know, everyone gets very fearful that they're being watched and everyone around them is looking at them while they're talking to the girls. And I can get that. That's almost like a form of public speaking, right? Because people are watching you, act or do something, and it can become pretty anxious moment when you're trying to do that. So I discuss what that's like and how to get over that in this audio that I recorded with permission from my student that I took out many years ago. And I thought this was really cool, and not only was it really cool, but I know that this is, again, something that a lot of guys have trouble with. So I wanted to release that on today's episode and get that going so you can learn how to get over the fear of people watching you. Okay, so take a listen. Here it is. This is my quick coaching session with my student, and I hope you learned something. And also, I want to just give a little shout out to the people who have been commenting and reviewing the podcast. You know, it really means a lot when you guys write a review. And I honestly, whatever review you want to write, I love honest reviews, and some people wrote some good stuff here. I just want to call you out. So Billy Liquid said, "You're the man." He gave me a 5-star rating. He said, "This is probably one of the best podcasts currently out on talking to women. Trip has knowledgeable guests that know their content and help me thrive with women. Trip alone has plenty of experience and overall an optimistic guy. I hope this podcast continues to improve and impress. You are the friend I never had, Trip." Thank you, Billy Liquid. Like I said, if you do write a review, good or bad, I will read it out here on the podcast. I really appreciate it. Rizzy45 said, "Perhaps the best podcast out there on the topic. Well worth listening to." Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. So I just want to shout out to the people who have reviewed the podcast. Leave a review if you so feel encouraged. And here is today's episode. So you might be taking some more notes. All right. So stand up for a second. I want to show you something.
Okay.
So let's stand right here. Okay?
Yeah.
So right now, have you ever been here before, by the way?
No, I have not.
No? Okay. So this is the 3rd Street Promenade. This is about, 3 blocks long, and people are coming here all the time, in and out.
Yeah.
So I want to show you something. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not that crowded right now.
Yeah.
But there's a few people walking around, okay? I just want you to take notice that everyone you see is in their own world, okay? Including us.
Yeah.
Everyone is in their own little world. It's their own bubble, their own perspectives, and they're only paying attention to what they're doing. Okay, so let's look around, right? We got 3 people right here. One girl's on her phone. Okay, we got some guy who's jogging. Who knows where he's going? A girl looking through a purse over here. Got a couple over there.
Yeah.
2 people with a baby. Right, look over here. There's an Asian lady walking with something in her hand. There's a kind of homeless person on the bench. There's another person sleeping on his hand. Right, like all these like different things.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone's in their own world. Okay, so my point here is that no one's paying attention to you right now, okay? And I know that's like a fear a lot of people have, like, like they walk into a bar, everyone's looking at them, or even they're walking down in public and they think that people are looking at them, right? The fact of the matter is, no one gives a shit about you. And I mean that in the nicest way possible.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, no one is caring about what you're doing. Right now, we're in the center of it all. Like, we're sitting here in the center. We're not in the corner peering away. We're in the middle of it, right? And yeah, maybe people are looking at us for like a second, but they're going right back to their thoughts. What do I have to do today? Who do I have to text message? I gotta go to the bank. I gotta call my mom. Oh, my mom said something that I didn't like the other day. Oh, my friends are having a party. What should I bring? You know, everyone's kind of in their own world, especially when you go to public places, especially when you go to bars, right? Especially when you go to like malls like this. Like, people aren't paying attention to you.
Yeah.
Okay? Again, maybe for like a second, when you like walk past them, you know, for like that quick second. But otherwise, this is like, you can see the thought bubbles on everybody, and none of them are saying Kenneth Pritchard.
Yeah.
Okay?
Except for this dog
or
right
guy
here.
over here. Except for that
For a
dog
second.
over there. That is the biggest dog I've ever seen. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So I just want you to kind of embody that, just for a second.
Okay.
So when you're walking around, you don't have to have that fear of, people are looking at me, people are paying attention to me. Now, I mean, one thing if right now you were to scream something and dance and go crazy, but because this is LA, people would pay attention to you and then brush it off 5 seconds later.
Yeah, of course.
Okay? I mean,
Yeah.
I do it all the time. Like, you
Yeah.
see a crazy person, you're like, that person's crazy.
Yeah,
And I'm like, right back to my day.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, right back to like, okay, where am I going? You know what I mean? It's like, even to that extreme, no one really cares, No one's really caring until you actually come up and approach them.
Yeah.
Right? So just remember that.
Oh, got it.
Okay. So, here's the goal. Okay, let me explain to you. Keep smiling. Here's the goal of what you want to do when you're trying to attract a girl. Okay, girls are attracted to confidence. Okay, so the whole point is to get to that confidence level.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the way to get there is everything you do has to be relaxed.
Yeah.
Okay, stop smiling. Okay. How's your face? Does it hurt? Are you okay?
It doesn't hurt. I feel like, the muscle. But
Okay, well, even right now, like you're
Yeah.
kind of talking, you're
Yeah.
smiling. Good. We'll do that again in a second.
Yeah.
So, women are attracted to confidence, and the way to get there is you got to be relaxed.
Relax.
Okay? Confident guys are relaxed. Okay? We kind of were talking about this with body language before, right? Is that everything you want to do is relaxed, okay? Because when a girl is with a guy who's relaxed, right? Then that means that it seems like they're with a guy who's got no problems.
Yeah, that's
And why does a girl want to be with a guy with problems? They don't, right? They want to be with a guy who, I mean, listen, no one has it all figured out, but in the beginning they want to at least see that they're being approached by a guy that they can think does,
Yeah.
right? Right? And the thing is you don't even have to fake that, because you do. You have a lot of things figured out. You know what I mean? You got your job figured out. Right now we're figuring this out, right? So if you're going to go up to a girl and you're going to be all tight and you're going to be not smiling, right? And you're going to be having bad eye contact, none of that stuff is relaxed.
Yeah, that's true.
And it looks terrible, right? And it makes them feel terrible. Okay? So confident guys are relaxed, and they talk slow but not too slow, right?
Yeah.
And they smile. Okay, so that is like the end goal. Everything is relaxed, even in communication, right? So even when a girl, gives you some kind of like test or something, and is like, you're texting with her and she totally blows you off, You play cool, you relax. You're not going to be like, well, you promised we were going to get together, and what happened, and da-da-da-da. Instead, it's like, well, that's cool, I got some friends I need to hang out with anyways.
Yeah.
Boom, relaxed.
Yeah, exactly.
And she's like, oh, okay. It's almost as if like she's so confused because she didn't even get the chance to like give you like I see an emotional response from you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that turns girls on. You know what I mean? The fact that like they can't affect you like that, they're like, I know it's like, it seems like it's kind of playing games, but that's just kind of like how it is. You know what I mean?
In reality, that's how I am. I don't let stress, drama, or emotion get to me.
That's good.
She would have said something like that to me, I'd be like, okay, whatever. It is what it is.
Right.
So it's just that I guess my appearance gives off the impression that I'm uptight, stiff, don't approach me, or I'm not friendly, or I guess.
Wait, say it again?
So I guess my appearance gives off the impression that I'm stiff, unfriendly. Like I guess I give like a very unapproachable demeanor. That's what I've also heard that in the past.
Unapproachable demeanor. Okay. That definitely has to do with the smiling. I mean, like, seriously, there's nothing else. Like, if you had, a smile on your face, more times than not, then you would be completely approachable,
Okay.
But if you're ever having that face on you, which I've seen, which is kind of like scrunched and almost like, kind of like this, it's like, yeah, No one's going to want to come up. No one's going to want to go up to any guy with that face, you know? No one's going to want to associate with any guy with that kind of face. It's got to be relaxed.
I
Like,
need to find like a neutral face then, I think, and to use in between smiling and...
right. So I would say like almost like a quarter smirk, you know?
Quarter smirk.
So like if we're like, you know, this is like your neutral face. If it's like this, you know?
Yeah.
And maybe like you just want to bring it up a little bit, like,
Okay, so like...
yeah, exactly. Now, is that hard to do?
No, it's not very hard.
It's not hard.
It's a little effort, but...
It does. And everything you're going to do to
Yeah.
fix yourself is going to require effort.
Yeah, of course.
But we're lucky that we have these crazy awesome brains that like do muscle memory for us.
Yeah.
Right? So everything that you're going to learn and try to fix, as long as you do it over and over and over and just really work at it, your body is going to be like, oh, this is the way it's supposed to be, because you've been doing it over and over. And that comes with everything,
Okay.
you know, with body language and the way with the way you're standing and eye contact. Like for me, when I was working on my eye contact, it got to a point where it felt uncomfortable not to look them in the eye.
Yeah.
You know, like I'd be like, I'd have to look them in the eye because I've been so used to doing that.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of where you want to go with everything else.
Yeah, I think I'm usually pretty good on eye contact. It's just that I guess like in a conversation, I just kind of like blow it off. Unless like I absolutely have to, like I'm talking to one of the senior managers at my job or
Okay.
or something like that. So I guess I need to
So
change that.
we're about to work on body language.
Okay.
So I'll tell you that you need to work on it literally every second of the day.
Every second.
Okay?
Okay.
I still work on it every second of the day.
Okay.
There are tons of times where I'm sitting down in a chair and I'm kind of bent over. And the second I do it, I notice it, you know? And I'm like, oh shit, got to go back up. You know? So it's like, it takes a while. But I've come to the point where finally my body notices it when I get to bad body language. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that takes time. You know what I mean? Like it's still going to take work, but at least your body knows, wait, this doesn't feel right. Because you've been used to standing up straight, you know, and you've been used to sitting up straight in your chair, you know, or like crossing your arms, you know. So like crossing your arms is like, I do it still sometimes, but the second I get in the position, seriously, the second I get in, a second later, I'm like, no. You know, like I'll be like used to going like this, I'm like, oh, nope, you know, can't do it.
I understand, yeah.
Don't want to do it, you know.
Yeah, I've always, in the past, I kind of used to walk like this right here. And then like my voice is like, no, you can't walk like that. You need to walk around with your chest up high,
Right.
proud.
Exactly.
Like, I guess that affects your speaking and your, you know.
Oh yeah,
voice.
absolutely. It's easier to project that, you know, when you're standing up straight. So I know we talked a lot more than just about whether people are watching you. We also talked about body language and how to feel relaxed and how to appear confident. So just remember, before you go and approach a girl, I just want you to feel loose, kind of shake it off, take a couple deep breaths, because when a woman is with you and you feel and look relaxed, it's going to be so much easier for you and easier for her to feel comfortable. So make sure that you can really step into your body and just loosen up before you go and approach. Now, I just want to remind you, if you haven't got this already, I have something for free to help you with conversation. It's called Chick Crack. And all you got to do is go to tripadvice.com/chick-crack and you'll be able to get it. It is the conversation topics that women love. So please go check that out. I think you're really going to enjoy it because it's going to help you with conversations, and it's 100% free. And then you'll also be on my newsletter. So it's a win-win because every week I send out even more tips and information for you to help you and motivate you to do better with the girls that you meet. So check that out, and I'll see you on next week's episode.